Hey, how's it going, guys? Just a quick video. Got my first PC was a 4060 pre-built from Levono, and I only had it for about a month or so until I built my own one. I actually used this one here to research the current build I have that I use full time now, which is a 4070 Super with 1200 700K on it and a James Bow 720 case. At the time, I didn't appreciate this case. I jumped on it with little no research, and actually used it a lot of research. I did a lot of research when I was using this computer for the new PC back there. But now I do have some leeway at work, so I started using it. I do appreciate this PC a lot more of the 4060 because I understand the limitations, what works, what doesn't work, and everything else. And I'm just gonna do a quick video. I still have it. I've been playing it a little bit more at work now since I have some downtime, like I said. But the question here is, how upgradable is this system right here? So let's go ahead and do a quick tutorial inside, or you can actually see it from here too right now. But I explain a little, go in depth. Okay, guys, so here's the like the 4060 pre-built. It's not the official ones, it's the OEM through Levono, so it's a little bit more compact and a lot shorter too. Comes with a 500-watt power supply, hard drive space, some SATA cables if you want to hook some up. It does have 3 fans total. Definitely not the standard 120, 140 millimeter fans. Here's a fan here, and there's a fan there. CPU cooler, stock cooler, nothing too crazy. And the CPU actually in here is the 14400F, and with a 512 gigabyte SSD card, and does have a Wi-Fi card at somewhere in here somewhere. And I think that's it. And one single stick of 16 gigabytes of DDR5 right there. So right off the bat, this is probably like the best efficient build out of it. I say that because a couple of things. It's a 500 watt power supply. The 4060 does not take too much power or anything like that. You can upgrade. The real bottleneck here is probably the PSU, the power supply. Let me explain why. Because like I was doing research on the next pre-build. I actually thought about upgrading to a Zotac 4070. It was the clearance here between here to here is like about under 10 inches. And then the Zotac one is probably the slimmest one I can find at the time. I think it's 9.5. So you're going to have a little bit of clearance right here. I can probably get away with a 500 power watt supply, but I think they recommended 650, I think, something like that for a 4070. The CPU here, it's a 1700 series socket, so you can put a 12 gen, 13 gen, 14 gen, and the higher you go in generation, the more power it's going to consume. So if you got a 4070 here and a 14900K, whatever it is, this power supply is definitely not going to be enough to support both of them. So it's either one or the other, basically, but more than likely you want to upgrade the GPU on this if you want to. The SSD card you can definitely interchange too. Nothing special there, but you may have to download the Windows install on the new SSD card, because 512 nowadays is not enough. With the programs and the software and the launchers and everything else, 512 is not enough nowadays. Probably 1 is recommended, 2 just to be safe. This card takes a this card can be DDR5 RAM stick, so you can actually take this out, probably sell it, and get 216 for a total of 32 gigabyte DDR5. And it looks like the socket here is a I don't know if that's a socket or anything like that. So, and the more power you're gonna, if you upgrade the CPU to the max and the 4070 here, because anything bigger is not gonna fit. And mind you, the back cover here is a single sheet of metal. So all that heat is going to be trapped in, and these little fans right here is not going to be enough to push all that hot air or the intake is going to be terrible. The exhaust is not going to blow enough hot air out of there. So this metal body is going to definitely suffocate if you do upgrade any of these two important components, the GPU and the CPU. The motherboard is probably not the standard ATX or anything like that. So that means you pretty much cannot do much with the motherboard. If you're gonna replace it, you might as well not to and just start fresh with a new build right there. The power supply, it's not modular, of course, so a bunch of cables that you probably won't need, like the SATA cables right here. This motherboard does not follow the 24 pin. It's actually a 10 pin connector right there. So like a lot of the reason you can't replace the motherboard, you can't really do anything with it. Um, the the 4060 here takes an 8 pin connector, so that's good. So you can take a 4070 in there with no issue. I know what the 4070 Super has the 12 pin connector, so that's not going to work. And the power supply is OEM, so I don't know if a regular power supply is going to fit in this tight space right here. Again, 500 is pretty much the cap. And I know there are adapters if you want to upgrade the PSU, but I wouldn't recommend it. So it could be a fire hazard. And the one I was looking at too is couple comments said fire hazard, and that's a huge turnoff for me right there. So like that's why I go back to the is it upgradable? Yes or no? You can upgrade the SD card and the RAM sticks with little to no issue. You can probably upgrade the CPU or the GPU by leaning towards the GPU first. 500 power watt supply is good enough for a 4070. You just gotta watch out if you push the rig to max to the max performance, it might spike and might short a fuse or just shut off because to prevent overage or anything like that. So if am I going to keep this long term? No, I'm just going to sell it, but I'm still using it on the side for work. So I am going to sell this. If it does a sell or anything, that if it sits on my Facebook account for months, I really don't mind. I do appreciate it now looking back of it. I'm enjoying good games on it too. I may do a lot of video too and see how that goes. But if you guys have any questions, let me know.